Thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the First News newspaper. No deal strike. Federal government ASU spat lingers as government reunion fails to agree out of court settlement. You find the details on the front page of the First News newspaper. To the Daily Trust now, 23 freed train passengers reunite with families after meeting Buhari. President says security challenges have evolved. How Mamu sabotaged rescue effort. You find the details on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. To this Nigerian newspaper now, military captures 79 terrorists, collaborators. Buhari meets 23 freed Abuja-Kaduna train passengers. All of the details you will find on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper. To the Blueprint now. Buhari to service chiefs, stop evolving threat to nation sovereignty. Replicates Northeast successes across Nigeria. Federal government procures over 550 naval platforms, increases NAF platforms by over 38% in 7 years. All of the details on the front page of the Blueprint. Mike.
All right, I have Daily Times next here from my end, and it says Buhari directs service chiefs to replicate Northeast successes. That's the Daily Times, Daily Times. And it says lists military acquisitions in 7 years. Says bombs were going off with a frightening frequency when he assumed office. That's what Daily Times has. And from there, let's go to Leadership. Leadership newspaper says travelers, residents stranded as flood grounds Lokoja. This has been on the news for some time now. North cut off from the south and economic activities stalled. Oil marketers blame fuel scarcity on the situation. That's what the Leadership newspaper has in there. And then we have Business Day. Let's go there. Business Day says hunger crisis to worsen as floods drown farmlands. Hunger crisis to worsen as floods drown farmlands. That's a Business Day. Now let's go to Nigerian News Direct. The News Direct says economic growth, that's the focus. CBN disburses 2.1 trillion naira for 426 real estate support facility projects. Says developing SMEs to export and foreign exchange, its key focus. That's what News Direct has. Nature News is the last one we're looking at now from this end. Mismanagement of natural resources is a violation of human rights. NAIT and NHRC is saying that. Mismanagement of natural resources is a violation of human rights. Okay? That's what Nature News has. Veronica.
All right, let's look at the story where the president was speaking or admonishing service chiefs to replicate the successes recorded in the Northeast with regards to the fight against insurgency. He was addressing the passing out parade and commissioning ceremony of cadets of 69 regular course of the Nigerian Defence Academy, and he has said that the chief of defence staff and the 7 chiefs basically should address the evolving security challenge across the country, and they should stop it as much as they can. He also talked about how much his government have invested with regards to addressing the fight against insecurity, talking about military hardware, that the most that have been recorded in the past 38 years have come from his government. So much has been spent with regards to that, and he said it was strategic at addressing the security situation that we find ourselves in.
Yes, it's interesting that he has come to gospelize his own achievements as commander-in-chief, something that he has not done since he mounted that seat. And people have always said that you didn't do well over the years to handle insecurity. and so on. And it's interesting that he's saying this at the same time that we are seeing uptick in the work of his security men. They have been acquiring weapons for sure. They have been doing a lot of work. So it's not that he should boast that he has acquired a lot of hardware, because he has also had a lot of hard times. And it only follows that he should get the hardware. The point is, did he succeed, or has he succeeded in turning this hardware into peace? And then we can say that we are seeing very tangible results about that. You have to be, as Commander-in-Chief, not only a man that brings peace or wins a war, you must also make your people understand that you are doing it. You don't have to tell them your strategies. You just have to make sure you do it and make people see that you do it. So people are still talking, people are still living in 4 or 5 months ago or 7 months ago in the rhetoric about insecurity in the country. It is understandable to the extent that people went through a lot of shock and pain and fear moving on highways and so on. But we know that, there is real improvement in this area of existence, and it's going to take a while for people to understand it. The federal government and its minders will be the ones to help us get through this psychologically, because there's also a therapy part of it, a national therapy part of it. Absolutely. Trying to know that things are not what they used to be, because everybody will still be saying, I don't want to pass that road, I don't want to pass that road. Somebody was saying the other day, I don't want to go to Ife. I said, there's not been an incident of Ife for a long time. But you have that memory that things are not the way they were.
But it is good that the president admitted that the security challenges are evolving. With recent times, we have seen the cases of kidnappings and all of that. And he admitted that the security chiefs need to also address that. And mentioning all of this, what his administration have achieved thus far, perhaps this is stemming from the statement he made, I think in Owerri, where he said that most of the successes his government has recorded, nobody is talking about it, not even his people.
Yeah, but we blame him. Yeah. The point there is,
he's in charge of his people.
You are the God. It's like saying, okay, the angels and all the elders in heaven gather and say, there's something wrong with this creation. Who do you blame? It is the man who came to say, let us make man in our own image. Let there be this, let there be that. You have the knife, you have the yam, you have the fire, you have the pot, you have the water. Government is God on earth. So the point there is that you notice that the information management, the thing is not trickling down. It's not, you hired whoever, in fact, it is assumed that the presidency in any country has the power to hire the best of any kind in the world. So the point there is there are times where there are some certain assignment where you feel if you don't get somebody within your country, you can hire somebody from anywhere. So long as you get the work done for your people. Some West African countries have Nigerians as VCs of their universities. Yeah. Some West African countries have Nigerians as Inspector General of their police in their country. It's not because theirs says that let us get the work done. It doesn't matter where the person comes from. So the point there is that in this case, the president complaining that those who are supposed to be handling my information, and there's an indictment also on himself. You hire somebody who did it, you fire him, get somebody else to get the job done. But however, we commend the president in the area of acquiring military hardware and all of that. But like Sam said, it is one thing to fill the arsenal with all of the best in the world. But how is it translating to Nigerians sleeping well in the night or sleeping well or moving around in the day? We were told that the Super Tucanos, when they come, that's the miracle. The moment those Super Tucanos come, every Nigerian hoped, whether rightly or wrongly, that when those Super Tucanos come, we will experience the peace we had maybe in the 80s or in the 90s, as the case may be. But the Super Tucanos have been here. When Nigerians were saying, why are they not using that we got to know that, okay, you can't just use them. You can't just deploy them. There are certain procedures that you have to get clearance from the United States. You have to get waivers here and there to ensure that you use them so that you don't get to use them in the wrong way. Of course, but we had Nigerians going to the US to train on how to use it. So all of those things are there. It boils down back to the information management. If we're not managing that thing well, you could be doing the best in the world, but yet no
Perhaps
Nigerian
this is why Nigerians are not talking about it as much.
Do it, Nigerians will handle the rest. Remember yesterday we were talking about the Ikoyi Link Bridge. Just do your own. The issue of information, Nigerians will handle it.
Yeah, but also we have to also hold the media. The media responsible for being I use the word pusillanimous in this regard. You know, not moving fast in even telling the story. Almost as if the media is unwilling to give the man credit. You don't know where credit is due.
But Sam,
you know, when we talked about Arsenal.
Yeah, but if you look at it, Sam, just to add to what you're saying, sometimes it's also it is the government not doing it right. Sometimes, you recall some time ago we were saying, when the president wants to make a very fundamental statement, it is when he travels abroad. He doesn't make those statements back home. So the point there is that Nigerian media will be scrambling and struggling to get to the details of this information from a foreign media.
No, but the Nigerian media knows that it has not been reporting deaths. It didn't need the president to say that there was a killing in Kaduna, there was a killing in Borno, there was a killing there. So when there's no killing, you don't need the president to tell that there has not been killing for a while. You know, that's what I'm saying. So if you, as you said, you know, you have to fill your arsenal in Nigeria. We make sure the Arsenal scores like the one in London.
Yeah.
So you have to do it.
Nice.
And when it scores,
the Arsenal
scores in London, we're here in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you have to make the noise. And nobody will make the noise for you. Nobody loves you so much that they want to make the noise for you. Sometimes your work can make a lot of noise. I saw the tweet by the Labour Party deputy that is saying that the second Niger bridge. Is it not the job of them to do it? It's not just the job to do it. It's not their job to do it. Is it not, if you do your job, don't you say, well done?
Exactly.
Well, but you know, they're trying to twist it. Somebody was trying to twist the fact that Governor Sanwo-Olu has said he's increasing salaries in Lagos. Say, is it not the job to do periodic salaries? How many, which state in Nigeria has done periodic review? They can't even pay the one they have. So give credit to where credit is due.
Right.
Yes.
Interesting.
I think ultimately Nigeria will benefit if this tempo is sustained.
That's another thing.
Nigerians will like it. It's not just for the time, because Nigerians will pin this to, is it because elections are coming, blah, blah, blah. All those questions will be asked, but let it be genuine that we're just trying to get rid of insecurity so that Nigerians can go back to, ultimately, Nigeria shouldn't even be in this space.
In the first place.
Africa is the centerpiece of Nigerian foreign policy, where if there's issue in Congo, Nigeria is the one to handle it. If there's issue in Liberia, we have done it before.
Absolutely.
So
the point there is,
if they say that Sanwo-Olu expense salary is cynical, Buhari has done second Niger is cynical. Give yourself an opportunity to be cynical. You don't become cynical on an empty stomach. You don't on false promise.
That would be a positive and progressive cynicism.
Okay, I'm cynical, but I have something to show for myself.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm increasing salary.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm cynical, but I'm increasing salary. Can you say
and people are benefiting?
Yeah, people are benefiting.
Yeah.
I've done the road. People are going to increase at Christmas now. They're going to go there. Is that cynical? Everybody will want that cynical.
Absolutely. Interesting conversation here, but the aspect of trusting the effort being put in place by government, I think that would take time, because if this is sustained, that is where Nigerians will begin to say, oh, actually, something was done or is being done, seen to be done by the government in power, so to speak, and that they can go to bed and will not see as much persons, jackpying like we are seeing, because one aspect.
Just to add to that, you see, there was a period of time Nigerians were saying, change the service chiefs, change the service
That
chiefs.
has been, that was done.
If you go on social media now, that is, as they're posting what the military is doing, a lot of commendation for the Nigerian security agencies are going on because they're seeing the result of it. So the point is just do your work. When it comes to that, spread the good news. Nigerians will handle it. They are good with that.
Absolutely.
Well, they handle it in time. Sometimes a good, they call it the giant rat of Sumatra.
Yeah.
The rat is there, but you don't see it. It's only in the imagination.